So we're going to tell you about the sub-grants under the Civil Society Regional Development Project. We'll be hearing from 3 individuals today, but we want to start with some of the beneficiaries. So across from Shane, we have Allison Beckles of Jabez House, Deputy Director and CPDC Grantee, focusing on vulnerable groups. And we also have Roseanna Tudor. She is BCD Operations Manager, and she's also a grantee under the umbrella organization grant. Great to have you here with us again. Great to see you.
Yeah, organizations receiving a lot of assistance under these
and they
programs.
so need it. They so need it. So let's start with you, Ms. Beckles. Tell us a little bit about Jabez House, because this is a special kind of organization that was started by Shamel Rice.
Yeah, so Jabez House, we are an NGO, and what we do is that we work with sex workers who want to transition away from sex work. Yes. So we provide them with vocational training, we provide them with food assistance, clothing assistance if they require, and recently we've started a housing program for them because some of our ladies, because of the financial the strain that they're under, sometimes they're not able to provide themselves the type of living that they need. So if we are able to take that strain from off of them, then they can focus on transitioning away from sex work, those who want to do that.
Excellent. And Roseanna, of course.
Yes, Roseanna is, of course, with the Barbados Council of the Disabled. You have seen her in recent time talking about those challenges that people with disabilities continue to face on a daily basis. And we need as much assistance as we can get, financially especially, to address these situations, Roseanna.
Yeah, actually, you know, I'm listening to you as well, and recognizing that NGOs are critical to government. We address the needs that are marginalized. And if you look around and you see so many NGOs, it's because they are not getting the support that they need and they require. The Council for the Disabled is one of them. We have 18 affiliates, and they all address different disability issues. When they are addressing those issues, they need to be prepared. They need to have the training. They're all looking for funding, support to do all these things. This is where an NGO like CPDC comes in.
Absolutely.
Because they're the experts, especially when we're now going into looking at legislation, because we want to be a part of the legislative process.
Give you that guidance
We
and
are
grounding.
important enough. We're the important third sector, so we need to be part of the legislation. And CPDC is very keen on helping, but they've been working on this for a while too as well.
So these organizations would have approached the CPDC for this assistance. So so I'm seeing now, with greater clarity, the connections and the having a better understanding of what your organization does to help organizations like these.
So we also have to say good morning to Karen
You
Phillips.
did already. When I talked about giving her pressure the last time, trying to explain to me exactly what these NGOs do. But it is clear, and the assistance continues to go. So other organizations, if they want to approach you, how does that approach go? Does it?
Well, we had 3 open calls for the vulnerable groups grants, and now we have 8 sub-grantees in about 6 countries. Right. And then for the institutional grant, which is what Roseanna got, that was a closed call because that was for only registered umbrella NGOs, and we're trying to strengthen the capacity of the umbrella NGOs to meet their members, while with the vulnerable group was some advocacy for their people.
Right. So that is definitely good stuff. Alison, sorry. Transitioning these ladies from that life of sex work to getting them into the mainstream, that can't be easy. And I mean, when I think about that, I also think of a level of discrimination that may be attached to that. How tell us about that, a bit more about that process.
Okay, we have, well, you know, people have a certain view of sex workers in terms of the type of women they are, in terms of the reasons why they get into sex work. And we have found amongst our women that when it comes to even going into what we would call traditional jobs, that if people find out what they're doing, that sometimes there is a level of discrimination that that makes it hard for them to really come out of sex work. So for us, this CPDC grant was very important because our focus with this grant was to bring some understanding and clarity to discrimination as it relates to our sex workers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we want to hear a little more about accessing the sub-grants under the Civil Society Regional Development Project. So, Ms. Phillip?
All right, so as we said before, it's funded by the EU, and the EU was so kind to us to allow us to have these sub-grants. And what it is that we put the grants, the call for the grants out on our website, and from that, the application process starts. So then I review the grants, I set up the evaluation committee, the committee meets, they judge the grants. And as you said last time, grant writing is a specific skill.
Yes, it is.
And from there, they get the grant or they don't. And if they get the grant, then I become their grant manager.
Okay, so there is a vetting process as well.
Oh,
And
definitely.
follow up.
Yes, yes.
How important is that in ensuring that they keep things on the right track and meet whatever was promised? The follow-up.
The follow-up? Well, it's critical because sometimes in NGOs we get distracted by the now. So we might see something that happened now and we will go to address that, forgetting that we have other commitments. So that's where I come in and I'm like, this is what you applied for, this is what you're supposed to be achieving, and this is also still important for your organization and the community that you represent.
Yeah.
I know that Jabez House and the BCD, the Barbados Council of the Disabled, you would be happy for the funding that you receive, but I know there can never be enough funding. Never enough. Any plans now to try to access more funding in this manner?
Actually, I can understand what Karen says about meeting the strict guidelines, especially with the EU. The council is fortunate because we have a strong infrastructure. So we do have other funding areas that we have to give our attention to. Another big one we have coming up is as well as with the EU and the UWI, Gender Affairs. But again, our membership is made up of individual organizations. They have to advocate for the different disability needs. We, the Barbados Council of Disabled, advocate for all the different across the board, even outside of our membership. But when they have to now advocate for needs to address their specific needs, they have to be prepared. They have to be well versed in strategic planning, in public relations and public speaking. So those are the areas we try to get funding for to support them. And this is where CPDC came in.
I know in Allison's case it must be even harder to write for a proposal for a grant for such funding.
Well, for us, because we work with a vulnerable population, we found that there are a number of grants that address the needs of our clientele. So, but we have to write the grants. We are always looking for whoever is providing any type of funding or any type of grant for the type of work that we do for our women. To keep it going, yes.
So you're looking out for others and you are looking out for them to ensure they can enable them to do what they need to do. So you wanted to add something, we give you the final word.
What I wanted to add to Roseanna is that this institutional grant that we're giving is not what most donors give. Most donors don't pay for your audit, they don't pay for your strategic planning, and that's the gap that CPDC was trying to fill by having these sub-grants.
Excellent. How can people contact you if they want to start the process?
437-6055 or via the website.
Excellent.
Thank you,
all.
ladies. Yes, thank you, ladies, indeed, for coming and sharing with us on the program.